Hi guys, we're back with another D3 video since the last one went over so well. Today we're going to talk about the Barbarian. Now, first we're going to touch on skills, and we'll go over the gear that can make these skills the best. Alright? So first thing, you are going to be a Whirlwind build. I prefer Whirlwind with Blood Funnel. I'm going pure defensive on most of my skills, and you'll see why. So, I prefer Blood Funnel for the critical hits restore 1% of your maximum life. Moving on, your other ability that you can use to attack is Rend. Rend is your dot, so don't spam cast it. You just want to make sure that it's on people, and you'll see when it's on because there'll be like red bleeding over their head. Now, again, going defensive. You heal for 0.5% of your maximum life per second for each affected enemy. That can add up really quick. Let's go to buffs. We've got Warcry with Invigorate to increase our maximum life so that the Rend heal will heal for more. Alright? And also the Blood Funnel heal. Next we have Battle Rage with Bloodshed. Now this will cause your critical hits to basically become an AoE. Whirlwind is already an AoE, so it's not exactly needed. There are other options. You could go with Marauder's Rage, and I used to for a while, but I found in the really big packs, the ones that can put you down in greater rifts, 50 plus, I'd say. 45 doesn't seem to matter, but 50 plus, I found this actually puts down those big mobs, like the, 20 plus that are coming at you. This puts them down faster than Marauder's Rage. Next we have Wrath of the Berserker. Now this is where you're getting your big damage boost. While active, you gain 50% increased damage. Insanity Rune. This is priceless. Your damage will be insane. Alright? And you may be saying, but it has a 2-minute cooldown, I'll only be doing good damage for 20 seconds, how am I going to get through the rift? We'll get there. Just trust me for a second. Last ability, Call of the Ancients. You want to have them gain 4 Fury every time they deal damage, with Ancient's Fury Rune. Now, if you're wondering, most of you probably already know, but if you're wondering how this matters since it's only for 20 seconds, you'll see soon. Let's talk about passives real quick. Rampage is a need. You must have Rampage. Increasing your strength by 1% for every kill up to 25%. Yeah, you need this, especially for when you get into one of those Rift Guardians that are dropping mobs on you all the time throughout it. The Skeleton King looking one, that Leech looking one, all those. It'll increase your damage versus the Rift Guardian by a lot, and that's pretty much the only thing you're ever going to have trouble with this build is Rift Guardians. So that's what we're kind of looking toward, is how to put them down. We have Berserker Rage. 25% additional damage while near maximum fury. If all you're doing is whirlwinding and throwing out a rend when you need to, you will never lose fury with having your ancients up. You will constantly be full because they'll be gaining you, because there's 3 of them, they'll be gaining you 12 fury per attack, which is about a second and a half. That kind of regen is off the charts. Next we have Nerves of Steel. Basically, it's your run-of-the-mill. When you die, you don't die. Awesome, can't really pass it up. It saves you on a respawn timer every time. Now this one can be changed, and so can this rune if this passive is changed. I go with Ruthless because once you get that Rift Guardian down below the 30%, having that extra 40% spike is really nice to have. But I used to run Unforgiving so that your Fury will regenerate on its own. And I used to run that the Call of the Ancients. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Together as one. 50% of all damage dealt is instead divided. Now, this isn't really necessary if you have a Unity ring, and we are going to be running Unity, so I swapped it out for the Fury, and it's a better Fury generation, plus with this bonus when they're below the 30% health. So, I personally choose Ruthless if you'd rather have Unforgiving, so you can have this all the time instead of just when you're excuse me, instead of just when your Call of the Ancients are attacking. So that is an option. Moving along to gear. You will want Immortal Kings in your belt, your weapon, and your hands. That's it. As you can see, I don't have the best of these items. That one's pretty good, I won't lie. But this one definitely, I mean, it's not even ancient. It could definitely be upgraded a lot more. But let's take a look at why we want the set. Call of the Ancients last until they die. Amazing. So now you have that Fury regen, you have bonus damage, you have all of this to look forward to. Also, it reduces the cooldown on your Wrath of the Berserker and Call of the Ancients by 3 seconds for every 10 Fury you spend with an attack. Sorry, I had to cut out there for a second. Didn't think you wanted to hear me coughing. Anywho, so by spending the Fury on the Whirlwind and the Rend, we're bringing back Wrath of the Berserker and Call of the Ancients faster. So if your Ancients die, which I've never seen them die, but if they do, you can bring them back easily enough, and Wrath of the Berserker is actually sustainable 100% of the time. You can be in that big guy form permanently. Alright? The other set that you want, after getting, again, belt, weapon, gloves, Immortal Kings, is the Wastes set. Now, again, I do not have the best gear for this. I'll just look through it real quick. Let you see, I mean, that right there, the life per second, that's a waste. That one's pretty good. That's the wrong... Oop, there we go. Then we have the boots, which, not all that great. Not all that great. Oh, and that's all the waste pieces. So, let's take a look at what the set does. 2-piece set. Increases the damage per second of Rend by 500%, so you're doing 5 times the damage, and its duration of 15 seconds, when usually it's only 5. Triple the duration, and it's 5 times the damage during that extra time. Amazing. Rend now actually becomes useful. It always did a decent amount of damage, but with the reapplying of it constantly, it was burning the Fury way too often for my taste. 4-set bonus. During Whirlwind, you gain 40% damage reduction. Huge. That's awesome. You're taking less damage while you're in the middle of everyone hurting them. And the 6-set bonus. Whirlwind gains the effect of the Dust Devil's rune, and Dust Devil's damage is increased 2,500% weapon damage. Now, if you're wondering what the Dust Devil's rune is, you saw I wasn't using it, but here we go. See those tornadoes right there? They will do the bonus of 2,500% weapon damage as they pass through, and that's per second. So if the mob is running with the tornado, it'll do even more damage. Alright? Now, for your amulet, I still have not gotten one that's good enough to replace this. So ignore what I'm wearing right now, except the legendary gem that's in it. You will want the Taeguk legendary gem. You will want the S of Johann or a really good Hellfire. Those are pretty much your only 2 options that'll run with this really well. You could do the arcane damage instead heals you, or the poison one, or I think there was a lightning one. But the S of Johann will gather everyone together when you hit one person. It's not a guarantee, but when you're whirlwinding and hitting like 800 times per nanosecond, it happens very constantly. I was using a Dex one until I found this by accident and replaced it. So, I'm still working on my S of Johann. I prefer Reaper's Reps, but there are a lot of good options to put into your wrists. Even the ones like Lacuni and Steady Strikers that give you the attack speed, but I really like having the extra Fury to keep me up towards the top for the 25% additional damage. I don't see how the attack speed is worth 25% additional damage, but if you do, by all means, replace it with Steady Strikers or Lacuni. This is not a necessity to have, but I really like it. For rings, you will need a Ring of Royal Grandeur. For the Legendary Gem, obviously these gems can be mixed up. But this one, I put Bane of the Trapped. Bane of the Trapped could be in the Amulet, and the Taeguk could be in the Ring of Royal Grandeur. It doesn't matter. I'm just going through as I'm going through the items. Just letting you know, there is no special benefit to each gem being in each ring. Anywho, so, the Ring of Royal Grandeur is found in Act 1 from the Horadric Cache when you complete all bounties for Tyrael. So just spamming all the bounties in Act 1 will eventually get you a Ring of Royal Grandeur. It reduces the number of items needed for set bonuses. So we only have 3 pieces of the IK, but we have the 4 set bonus. As for the waist, we only have 5 pieces of the set on, yet we have the 6 set bonus. It's untouchable when you're trying to wear 2 sets. As for the gem, you will gain an aura that reduces movement speed when the gem is at rank 25. All the way through from rank 1, you will get increased damage against enemies under control and pang effects. So you need it at 25 before it's actually useful, because you're not slowing down anyone until you have that aura. So if you wanted to put anything else in here, like Bane of the Powerful for the elites or whatever, until you have a gem that's 25, it completely makes sense. But you want to get this one up there. 1, it stops things from running away from you, and 2, the extra damage is really nice. Unity. Now, you'll notice that I have a Skull Grasp in my inventory. If I'm running with other people, most times I'll go with a Skull Grasp for the improved Whirlwind damage, because I'm usually only doing Torment 6 rifts when I'm with other people. I'll usually solo the higher, greater rifts. So I'm just looking for damage output when I'm just, hanging out with a friend. I'd suggest keeping it around, because the Unity is 100% useless when you're in a group. And here's why. The effect of Unity is all damage taken is split between wearers of this item. So you get one for your follower. There. You get one for your follower, you get one for you, and make sure you have for your follower cannot die. You need that, because they will die if they're taking half the damage you are. So with that there, you're always taking 50% less damage. You'll want the Pain Enhancer. It's extremely nice for adding an extra bleed for when you critical hit. You can read it right there. Also, you gain Blood Frenzy, granting you 3% increased attack speed for each bleeding enemy within 20 yards. That's really nice, because Rend is considered a bleed. Whether you're actually getting the critical hit, for the bleed, or you're rending, it's all the same thing. You're getting that extra attack speed. So make sure that you rend. That is all of the gear and all of the skills. As for Paragon, there is no right answer. Everyone will always have their favorites or whatever, but you can't know what someone's got on their gear. If you're heavy all resist, you'll be close to the all resist soft cap, and it won't give you as much toughness as, say, maybe percent life if you have a lot of vitality. So what I suggest when you're doing Paragon is you come over here and you go into, say, attack speed, and then you come back over here and you look at what your damage is. Say it's only 827, just throwing a number out there. I go, oh, okay, well, obviously with, having it all into crit strike, crit hit chance. Then I'm at 828. Obviously, that's better. So I'd remove from the attack speed, put it into crit hit damage, and check it, and it'll be 829. And I go, oh wow, crit hit damage is the one for me. Apparently my crit hit chance is high enough that crit hit damage is better. So I do that for your offensive and your defense stuff for Paragon points. Figure out what's best for what gear you have. Alright? As for stats on different items, you will want all resist and life percent on your belt. Everything else is usually pretty self-explanatory. Just find what's the best that you can, like pants, boots. Boots can have whirlwind damage. That's priceless. Your whirlwind's your number one thing. I like doing the Call of the Ancients damage on the shoulders, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to show you this build in action now, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Of course, I'll throw in a little music for you. You know how I am. Alright? I'll catch you guys later.
Are you ready?